So, yesterday saw a truly heinous act. Again. In Texas, we saw 19 children killed, more injured, alongside, I believe, 2 or 3 teachers. And look, this is very, very easy to turn political. And there's so many political arguments that you see floating around. But that's a cop-out. It's a cop-out because in order to say that something's political is to say it's someone else's fault. It's the people who make the rules. They're the people who cause the problems. And look, it's not. It's not the people who make the rules that cause the problem. It's the person who decides to do the act. In this shooter had sent pictures of his weapons, the AR-15 that he used, the high-capacity mags that he used, and sent them to a friend, a picture. What did that friend do? Fuck all. We preach, if you see something, say something. And in this case, we see again a situation where someone saw something, they didn't say something, there was a repercussion. Now, that's not political. That is at the base level. That is on the ground. Someone had made a decision to do something, and someone else was given a hint to what was going to happen, and they chose not to say anything until it was too late. And we see it all too often. This situation where someone does something and automatically everyone tries to blame everybody else. We try and blame governments. We try and say, and look, in some situations, you can blame governments. If children are bored and children are fighting, like we see over in the UK in London, then you could blame that because there is a decline in the offering to youths, they then have to find other ways to obtain money, to find something to do, and they end up getting into gangs, and then this gang situation arises, and then we see stabbings and shootings and fighting and what have you. But it still boils down to how people are risen fundamentally. It's still a decision that someone made to do something, and someone who knew it was going to happen and didn't say anything. And we've got to get better. We've got to get better at this. Now, I can't even begin to imagine what that's like for you guys over in the US, where these things can happen. Now, my partner works in a primary school. So when she sees stuff like this, it hits her like a sledgehammer. Because you have to just try and comprehend the sheer terror that these people endured. That these children, what must they have been feeling? What must they have been feeling? This needs today, at least today, let's knock the drama on the head. I'm going to put this video out early, get it out there, and look, I don't rule this niche, but I'm just trying to say, for just today, let's just knock this shit on the head and start putting some information out that will actually help people, instead of picking the bones of shit that isn't going to change stuff like this, and try and make a difference. If you see something, say something. If you are someone who knows that someone has a weapon and they have ammo, and you're thinking, they shouldn't have that, then tell someone about it. Because if not, you're just as guilty as the person who sat behind the gun. You're just as guilty. In fact, you're worse. Because you had a choice. And that person, they'd already made their mind up. God bless to all of these people who lost their lives and all of the people that they left behind. And I'll say it once again. If you see something, say something.